ودوام تفريطي وجهالتي وكثرة شهواتي وغفلتي. وكن اللهم بعزتك لي في كل الأهوال رؤوفا، وعلي في جميع الأمور أتوفا. إلهي وربي من لي غيرك، أسأله كشف ضري والنظر في أمري. إلهي ومولاي، أجريت علي حكما اتبعت فيه هوى نفسي، ولم أهترس فيه من تزيين عدوي، فغرني بما أهوى وأسأده على ذلك القضاء، فتجاوزت بما جرى علي من ذلك بعد حدودك، وخالفت بعض أوامرك، فلك الحمد علي في جميع ذلك، ولا حجة لي فيما جرى علي فيه قضاؤك، والزمني حكمك وبلاؤك. وقد أتيتك يا إلهي بعد تقصيري وإسرافي على نفسي، معتذرا نادما منكسرا مستقيلا، مستغفرا منيبا مقرا مضئنا معترفا، لا أجد مفرا مما كان مني، ولا مفزعا أتوجه إليه في أمري، غير قبولك أذري وإدخالك إياي في سعة رحمتك. اللهم فاقبل أذري وارحم شدة ضري، وفكني من شدي وثاقي. يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني ورقة جلدي ودقة عظمي، يا من بدأ خلقي وذكري وتربيتي وبري وتغذيتي، هبني لابتداء كرمك وسالف برك بي. يا إلهي وسيدي وربي، أتراك مؤدبي بنارك بعد توحيدك، وبعد ما انطوى عليه قلبي من معرفتك، ولهج به لساني من ذكرك، واعتقده ضميري من حبك، وبعد صدق اعترافي ودعائي خاضعا لربوبيتك. هيهات أنت أكرم من أن تضيع من ربيته، أو تبعد من أدنيت، أو تشرد من آويت، أو تسلم إلى البلاء من كفيته ورحمت. وليت شعري يا سيدي وإلهي ومولاي، أتسلط النار على وجوه خرت لعظمتك ساجدا، وعلى ألسن نطقت بتوحيدك صادقا، وبشكرك مادها، وعلى قلوب اعترفت بإلهيتك محققا، وعلى ضمائر هوت من العلم بك حتى صارت خاشعة، وعلى جوارها سعت إلى أوطان تعبدك طائعة، وأشارت باستغفارك مذعنا. ما هكذا الظن بك، ولا أخبرنا بفضلك أنك يا كريم. يا ربي وأنت تعلم ضعفي عن قليل من بلاء الدنيا وعقوباتها، وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها، على أن ذلك بلاء ومكروه قليل مكثوه، يسير بقاؤه قصير مدته، فكيف احتمال لبلاء الآخرة وجليل وقوع المكاره فيها، وهو بلاء تطول مدته ويدوم مقامه، ولا يخفف عن أهله، لأنه لا يكون إلا عن غضبك وانتقامك وسخطك، وهذا ما لا تقوم له السماوات والأرض. يا سيدي فكيف لي وأنا عبدك الضعيف الضليل الحقير المسكين المستكين؟ يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي، لأي الأمور إليك أشكو، ولما منها أضج وأبكي؟ لأليم العذاب وشدته، أم لطول البلاء ومدته؟ فلئن سيرتني للعقوبات مع أعدائك، وجمعت بيني وبين أهل بلائك، وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك، فهبني يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي، صبرت على عذابك، فكيف أصبر على فراقك؟ وهبني صبرت على حر نارك، فكيف أصبر عن النظر إلى كرامتك؟ أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجاء عفوك؟ فبعزتك يا سيدي ومولاي أقسم صادقا، لئن تركتني ناطقا لأذجن إليك بين أهل هذا جيج الآملين، ولأصرخن إليك صراخ المستصرخين، ولأبكين عليك بكاء الفاقدين، ولأنادينك أين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين، يا غاية آمال العارفين، يا غياث المستغيثين، يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين، ويا إله العالمين. أفتراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سجن فيها بمخالفته، وضاقت عمى عذابها بمعصيته، وحبس بين أطباقها بجرمه وجريرته، وهو يضج إليك ضجيج مؤمل لرحمتك، ويناديك بلسان أهل توحيدك، ويتوسل إليك بربوبيتك. يا مولاي، فكيف يبقى في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك؟ أم كيف تؤلمه النار وهو يأمل فضلك ورحمتك؟ أم كيف يحرقه لهيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانه؟ أم كيف يشتمل عليه زفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفه؟ أم كيف يتقلقل بين أطباقها وأنت تعلم صدقا؟ أم كيف تزجره زبانيتها وهو يناديك يا رباه؟ أم كيف يرجو فضلك في إتقه منها فتتركه فيها؟ هيهات، ما ذلك الظن بك ولا المعروف من فضلك، ولا مشبه لما عاملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك. فباليقين أقطع لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاهديك، وقضيت به من إخلاد معانديك، لجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما، وما كان لأحد فيها مقرا ولا مقاما. لكنك تقدست أسماؤك، أقسمت أن تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين، وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين، وأن تجلى ثناؤك قلت مبتدعا وتتولت بالإنعام متكرما. أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون. إلهي وسيدي، فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها، وبالقضية التي هتمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من عليه أجريتها، أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمته، وكل ذنب أذنبته، وكل قبيح أسررته، وكل جهل أملته كتمته أو أعلنته، أخفيته أو أظهرته، وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني، وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جواره، وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم، وبرحمتك أخفيت وبفضلك سترت، وأن توفر حظي من كل خير أنزلت، أو إحسان فضلت، أو بر نشرت، أو رزق بسطت، أو ذنب تغفره، أو خطأ تستره. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب، يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي ومالك رقي، يا من بيده ناصيتي، يا عليما بذري ومسكنتي، يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب، أسألك بحقك وقدسك وأعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي من الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورا، وبخدمتك موصولا، وأعمالي عندك مقبولا، حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا، وهالي في خدمتك سرمدا. يا سيدي، يا من عليه معولي، يا من إليه شكوت أهوالي، يا ربي يا ربي يا رب، قوي على خدمتك جواره، واشدد على العزيمة جوانه، وهب لي الجد في خشيتك، والدوام في الاتصال بخدمتك، حتى أسرها إليك في ميادين السابقين، وأسرع إليك في المبارزين، وأشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين، وأدنو منك دنو المخلصين، وأخافك مخافة الموقنين، وأجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين. اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فأرد، ومن كادني فكد، واجعلني من أحسن عبيدك نصيبا عندك، وأقربهم منزلة منك، وأخصهم زلفة لديك، فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك، وجد لي بجودك، واطف علي بمجدك، واحفظني برحمتك، واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجا، وقلبي بحبك مطيما، ومن علي بحسن إجابتك، وأقلني أثرتي، واغفر زلتي، فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك، وأمرتهم بدعائك، وذمنت لهم الإجابة. فإليك يا ربي نسبت وجهي، وإليك يا ربي مددت يدي، فبعزتك استجب لي دعائي، وبلغني منايا، ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي، واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي. يا سريع الرضا، اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء، فإنك فعال لما تشاء. يا من اسمه دواء، وذكره شفاء، وطاعته غنى، ارحم من رأس ماله الرجاء، وسلاهه البكاء. يا سابغ النعم، يا دافع النقم، يا نور المستوحشين في الظلام، يا عالما لا يعلم، صل على محمد وآل محمد، وافعل بما أنت أهله. وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله، وسلم تسليما كثيرا. سورة مباركة الفاتحة.
بل محمد وآل محمد صلوات. قتل الحسين بكربلا، قتل الحسین بکربلا، چلا کربلا سے جو قافلہ، وہ عجب نظارہ تھا حشر کا، کہیں سر کٹے کہیں گھر لٹا، کھلے سر یہ کہتی تھی فاطمہ، قتل الحسین بکربلا، قتل الحسین بکربلا. कहीं बर्छियों से छिदा जिगर, कहीं सरगोरीदा थे दो पिसर, थे कहीं इमाम भी नौहगर, यही शौर था सरे अलकुमा। कुतिल अल हुसैनो बेकरबला, कुतिल अल हुसैनो बेकरबला। कहीं तीर निकले कमान से, कहीं खून बहता था कान से, कहीं ओंठ तर थे जुबान से, कहीं बैरियों की थी ये सदा। कुतिल अल हुसैनो बेकरबला, कुतिल अल हुसैनो बेकरबला। बर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु। आज सुबह तकरीबन 4-5 बजे एक न्यूज़ के साथ, बहुत ही सैड न्यूज़ थी जिससे मुझे जगाया गया। आप लोग जानते हैं फ़कीर अली साहब जो हमारी कम्युनिटी के बहुत पुराने मेंबर थे, उनके घर में कुछ लोग घुस आए और उनको किडनैप कर लिया गया। लेकिन उससे पहले उनके दोनों बेटों को उन्होंने शॉट किया। हसनैन के तो 2 शॉट लगे थे और सिब्तैन के 1। तो दोनों को हॉस्पिटल पहुंचाया गया। तो सिब्तैन तो हॉस्पिटल पहुंचकर वो दम तोड़ चुके थे। इन्ना लिल्लाहि व इन्ना इलैहि राजिऊन। बाकी सिब्तैन और फ़कीर अली को उन्होंने डंप कर दिया था 3-4 घंटे बाद। उनका भी वो घड़ी से ट्रेस होकर उनको उन्होंने डंप से, गार्बेज डंप से कहीं से निकाला, बर्लिंगटन से। लेकिन अब दोनों को उनकी सर्जरी हो चुकी है और ये है, अल्लाह का शुक्र है कि उनकी जान बच गई है। अभी तक तो सीरियस कंडीशन में हैं। तो आप सब से रिक्वेस्ट है कि एक दफ़ा सूरा फातिहा और उसके बाद 5 दफ़ा अम्मा युजीब की। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अम्मा युजीबुल मुस्तर्रा इज़ा दुआ व यफ्सफसू, 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 अम्मा युजीबुल मुस्तर्रा इज़ा दुआ व यफ्सफसू। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद आले।
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It was indeed a sad news, and I think what we can do is to be vigilant. I know it was a target. It was not like a random incident, so probably we are not a threat. But of course, you have to be vigilant because you never know what the intention of some ill-minded people are, right? So whenever you go outside your home, just be vigilant. If your kids are going out, just keep an eye on them, right? To be safe until the things is sorted out and we find more details about this incident. Yeah, so I think it may be like what Shaji is saying exactly. It may unfortunate or Khuda Khasa, it should not be a widespread thing. But anyhow, as I mentioned, to be vigilant as much as you can. Of course, we can take only precaution. We cannot, stop living like the pandemic, right? We have been through this. Inshallah, we'll be through this, all those things, and hopefully these culprits will got caught soon, inshallah. But just to be vigilant. Whenever you go out, just keep an eye with your kids and yourself, and don't go alone if you don't need to go, right? So inshallah, Allah will take care of on and be take his be muhafiz of all mu'mineen, muslimin, muslimat, everyone, inshallah. Ameen. Today we have the workshop, inshallah. So instead of lecture, it will be Jamaat rules or Jamaat Salat rules workshop, and Maulana will be, inshallah, guiding us through those rules. If you have any questions related to that, so probably once Maulana finishes speech, or he maybe ask you, or take the opportunity to ask or learn more, because I think that's a very important. Maulana Sahab has actually probably felt it, and I have also looked at this thing. It is a need of our time, and that is a very a required topic, because it's important. Namaz, I think in particular, is very important, right? The way we pray, it has to be starting from the wuzu and all the way. All these things have to be with all good niyat, intention, and proper recitation and tartib, inshallah. Similarly, Jamaat Salat, you don't have to do a few of the things, but of course you have to make sure that you follow to get the sawab of namaz. Same right? So namaz is very important. If you don't do something correctly, probably your namaz is void. And the hadith we have is namaz is rejected, every other amal is rejected. Inshallah, we'll follow those rules. As I mentioned, feel free to ask Maulana Sahab, and I think Maulana Sahab should be open for any questions. So once he finishes the lecture, or in case in between, if you have any, you can raise your hand. If Maulana gives a chance, then you can ask, or otherwise at the end, any questions, any doubt you have, I think this is a good platform. Feel free to make it an interactive session, inshallah. Upcoming programs, tomorrow being Friday, Jumma Salat 114, which is Awwal Waqt. That will be Jumma Salat tomorrow, inshallah. The next program will be tomorrow night, Friday night, which actually is the 10th night of Safar, which is the 30th of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So that will be the night of 30th of Imam Hussain, inshallah. So Majlis will start at 7:30 p.m. our standard time. And next program will be after a week from now, which will be the regular Shab-e-Jumma program. Quick announcement for Arba'in program. I'll be announcing more, inshallah, in upcoming, but just to give you an idea, Arba'in program is a 4-day program starting from 25th September, which is a Saturday, and continue until the Arba'in day, which is Tuesday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 4-day program. Saturday, Sunday will be 6:15. Monday, being a working day, will 7:30 start, and then Arba'in day 7:15, because we have to close or do everything before the Maghrib Salat. So a 4-day program, 25th to 28th of September, and inshallah we have more programs. I'll be announcing as soon as we get close to those programs. But for the time being, that's it. And just last request is, of course, all of you have been following, and I'd like to thank everyone for cooperating and abiding by the rules. Of course, that's for our safety. Keep the distance, mask all the time, use sanitizers, and the other important thing is, please bring your musalla and turba. That's important. People do forget sometime, right? So keep in your car. This is what I do, right? If I forget, at least for myself, my son, whatever, just keep extra in a car or something. At least you can use that. So please bring your own turba, musalla if you can. That's great, because we still are not allowed to provide those because of the precautionary. And that's it from my end. I'll ask with a loud salawat to Maulana to come and start this lecture. Muhammad Ali Muhammad salawat.
وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين وهو خير الناصرين ومعين. ثم الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعترته الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من أول يوم ظلمهم إلى لقاء يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الإمام علي بن أبي طالب روحي وأرواح العالمين له الفداء: رحم الله امرأ سمع حكما فوعى. Please recite a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Imam Ali alayhi salam, in this beautiful hadith, he says in Nahjul Balagha, may Allah have mercy on such a person who hears a hukm, a ruling, an issue, an affair. Hukm has different meanings. Let's say in today's context we're going to discuss inshallah different ahkam of Salatul Jama'ah, so hukm shar'i. Imam says whoever hears a hukm shar'i and retains it, he understands it and remembers it and practices it. Imam Ali is doing dua for such a person. May Allah have mercy on him. So look, even one hukm if we learn in Islam, and would that I have time to explain how much thawab, reward is going to be offered to those who spend time learning fiqh. Because fiqh is our practical part of Islam. And remember, like in sunnah, qawli, fi'li, and taqriri, the strongest is the fi'li, practical. Because no one can justify one's practice, no one can misinterpret one's practice. So without any further explanation, I will enter into the ahkam of Salatul Jama'ah. But be known, there are too many of them. There are lots of ahkam of Salatul Jama'ah. And remember, by nature, fiqh is as such. You make a slight change in the question, the hukm will totally change. So please be advised, don't think that, that masala resembles the other masala. No, every masala in Shia fiqh is independent, it's stand-alone masala. They don't resemble with one another, though they have, let's say, one masala is containing less details, the other masala has more details, especially if a condition is added into the same masala, the ruling will change. And then if another condition is added, then the ruling will change. That is quite common in fiqh. But all the ahkam are different. And we don't do qiyas. Qiyas means if we take one masala and we have another likeness of the masala, we give the same ruling to the masala number one. No, that does not occur. It's not legal according to our fiqh. A'imma of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, they were so strict on this. And even the beautiful hadith from our sixth holy Imam alayhi salam recites that awwalu man qasa iblisun, the first person who did qiyas was Iblis. He said, ana khayrun minhu. Please recite a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. These rulings, some of them are generic. I want to give you first some general rules for congregational salah. Others are conditions. Conditions of the Salatul Jama'ah. Pay attention to these two. I've divided them into big groups so it's easier to remember them. I'll try to give you usul as we learn in the Hawza so that you can remember the masail much easier. They stay in your mind longer if you know the usul. Number one, it's recommended to perform daily prayers. It's recommended. Pay attention to these keywords. Recommended, obligatory precaution, recommended precaution, ihtiyat, mustahab, follower, who is ma'moom, imam, who is imamul jama'ah, not the imam ma'soom. So these keywords bear in your mind. It's recommended to perform the daily prayers in congregation. As per the correct hadith, one congregational prayer will get us more reward. Don't look at the numbers, the ranks. 25 ranks higher, or maybe even more than 25 ranks. Daraja. 25 darajat, a congregational prayer is higher. And of course, you have heard about other, if you come to the masjid, multiply it with 70. If you are following the Imam Jamaat, who is an alim, a learned expert in religion, another 70. And if the number grows, number of attendees in the congregational prayers keeps on multiplying. And as per hadith, over 10, only Allah Jalla Sha'anu knows the reward of that salat. Only Allah knows. Meaning lots of reward, countless reward. More emphasis on Salatul Fajr, Maghrib and Isha. It's highly recommended that we offer these three in congregation. Dhuhr and Asr, maybe, I'm just saying maybe. It's not exact wisdom or hikmah behind it, because we are at work. Daytime we are at work, and normally people nowadays, inshallah, not nowadays, it was since ever, Islam, alhamdulillah, came to guide us. People in bazaars, in markets, they have a masjid there. They go there and offer their salah there in, of course, Islamic countries. And if someplace here, I have seen somewhere, near Bay and Dundas in Toronto, if you have salat of congregation there, go and offer your salah. Take a break of, 15 minutes. And normally about 99.9% people, they get permission to go offer their salah and come back. They will work extra, 15 to 20 minutes. Depends on your situation. So I've combined these, few masail in one masala. Then it is not thabit, it has not been proven to offer Salatul Ayat in congregation or Salat Tawaf, Tawaf Wajib. When we go during Hajj, one of the rituals is the Salat of Tawaf, when we encircle the Holy Kaaba 7 times, and afterwards it's a part of that ritual that we offer 2 units of Salah, 2 rak'ah Salah. Now we don't have any proof that Salah can be offered in congregation, but lunar eclipse and solar eclipse, they can be offered in congregation if the conditions are met with the Salatul Jumma. Please have a salawat. Salli ala Muhammad wa ajil farajahum sallallahu alayka ya Aba Abdillah. Somebody who lives close by to masjid, it's makruh, disapproved, that this person not attend Salatul Jama'ah. Second category is people who are so close to masjid, even in older days, when it was vocally said, the adhan, people who can hear the adhan, they are highly recommended to go and offer their salah in masjid, congregation. It's not a wafa to masjid to not to go to the masjid while you can hear the salah, especially when you the adhan, the voice of muadhin, and especially when you are neighbor to masjid. It's highly recommended. Of course, nowadays our situation is slightly different, but alhamdulillah, where there are people in bigger numbers, like our mashallah JCC, they have their congregational salah there always. So if attendees are there, Imam Jamaat is there, it's recommended to offer the salah in congregation, as we just said. There are few masail there in this general category. I'm going to skip them. If you have any questions at the end of this generic part, I will stop for a few minutes and we can share more questions. If an imam or followers, they have performed a prayer in congregation. This is very tricky, please pay attention. We just offered our Maghrib and Salah to make it easier. If we want to do it again for more thawab, it's okay, but you have to do it with the niyat of raja. Raja means to hope for reward, for thawab. Original or genuine situation occurs when there are so many attendees. Let's say on our Eid Salah or even JCC, we have multiple Salah for Eid. We cannot cater, all of the mu'mineen at once. So we have one Salah at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, whatever, and then another Salah. How about if the same Imam wants to offer the Salah there? It is permissible. But then his niyyah should be raja, for the hope of thawab. And it's better to get another person, another Imam. But you attendees likewise, the followers, ma'mumeen, if you want more thawab, you offered your salah, let's say, it happens practically in Masjid Azam in Qum and in the haram of all the Imams, especially Imam Ali alayhi salam and Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Have a salawat on them. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. May Allah take all of you there for ziyarat. You will see that on the haram, Imam Hussein, there's a door towards Qibla known as Sheikh Tusi, Bab Tusi. People, they are offering salah there with an Imam. Some people, they come a bit late. They join in, let's say, third rak'ah of Maghrib. But they want to get complete thawab of salah. They will get, inshallah, that congregational thawab. There's another jamaat after the first jamaat. So that applies to them. See, if they want to go for a complete salah of 3 rak'ah, raja'an, they can do that. Have a salawat, please. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. But the tricky part is, you cannot repeat the same salah with the same niyyah of wajib. Like I just said my Maghrib salah, I cannot offer the same Maghrib salah with the same niyyah, wajib qurbatan ilallah. No, that is not established and recognized. I hope that will help. Now a little tricky question. It happens mostly where there are bigger numbers. MashaAllah, it can happen here too. Imam Jamaat is offering the salah. Followers are also offering salah behind him. A person enters and he does not know that if this salah, what type of salah is Imam offering. He only knows that he is offering one of the daily salah. That's the tricky part. When he has itminan, he has peace of mind, he's sure that he's offering one of the daily salah. Let's say a qarina, an indication, it's dhuhr time. He can conclude he's offering dhuhr salah. He can join him in the salah. When he has peace of mind that he is offering one of the daily salah, but same man, same scenario, he's not sure if the salah which Imam is offering right now is one of the daily salah or some other salah. Same man cannot join the same Imam. His congregational prayer is invalid when he is not sure, he has no peace of mind, no indication. He's in doubt. Is Maulana reciting some mustahab salah, qurbatan ilallah salah? I don't know what salah he's reciting. You cannot join him in your congregational prayer. I hope that was understandable. Please recite a salawat. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Then we will enter in the conditional parts. So far, inshallah, in the general rules, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. Yeah. See, the hukm is that when you go there, the question is, if he travels to India, he hears the adhan on the louder, and it's a Sunni dominant area. The masjid is also, where Sunni brothers, they offer their prayer. He goes there and he does not want to stand out, so he offers the salah the way they do. Number one, we don't offer the salah the way they do. Number two, we are permitted to join their congregational salah. But then you offer your salah the way you offer your own salah, the Shia way. See, for the sake of unity, our maraji', they allow us to offer salah with the Sunni brothers' congregational salah. But we offer it the way let's say we don't do takattuf. Takattuf is when somebody, folds his hand on his belly button or wherever they have difference of opinion in their four schools. Imam Malik, even he allows them to leave the hands open as we do. They don't do takattuf. Tricky part, offer your salah the way you are. They don't mind, we don't mind. Everybody nowadays knows, alhamdulillah, now this situation has gotten much better. Everybody understands now with the alhamdulillah, this blessings, I would say, of that through mainstream media, everybody watches closely how, let's say, Sunnis are offering their prayer, how Shias are offering their prayer. See, in older days, I remember myself when I was in my, 10, 12 years of age, I hear so many lies. They were fabricated against Shias. They were not truth. But nowadays, no one can, relate some fabricated things, some made up things to Shias, because everywhere, you have their salah, the way they offer, and now they have understood, alhamdulillah.
But I have a question for that.
Yes.
Still, in Pakistan, it's not possible. If you're a Shia and praying in Sunni mosque, it's not possible.
I think it depends which area are you. It has been, I'm not sure. Honestly, I was raised in a mahalla, in a community. We had only one house of Shias. Everybody is Sunni. And we used to offer salah in that Sunni masjid. And I learned Quran Kareem there. We used to participate in Ramadanul Kareem there. It depends. I understand. Everyone can understand. It depends on the area. Depends on the influence. Remember, Salafis, I would say Salafis, they have problem. And especially if you mention the name of the country, after 1985, Lashkar-e-Jangvi, they were the one who openly started saying Shia's kafir, naud billah, Shia kafir, and then of course the follow-up masail and issues. But as for the sake of the mas'ala, see, this gives a huge, positive message that our maraji, they allow us, you can follow a Sunni imam and your salah is valid. For now, I think that is enough. But yes, if you change it, then it's ishkal. You have to refer to your marji'. And they will say, number one, you cannot offer the salah the way they offer, because in our madhab, that is not correct. Please have a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. Now the conditions. These are the conditions that they must be met to be a congregation salah valid. If they are, violated, then we will see who is violating. Either his or her salah is void, or if they know their wazifa, they know what they have to do, their salah will change from congregational mode to farada mode, individual, on their own. But some certain conditions apply. As I will walk you through these masail, inshallah, I will give you some more details. Number one condition, it's condition that the follower, he must do intention of iqtida, to follow the Imam Jamaat. He cannot just come and say takbir and stand there with the attendees, with the followers. He has to have the intention of joining the Salatul Jama'ah. It is so simple. But it becomes complicated when there are masail like this. A person joins the congregation. In fiqh, remember, everything is possible. questions which were asked to the Imams, Imam replied, they are the dalil for our maraji'. So they answered them. If a person, he is in a congregation, did the intention of following the Jamaat of the Imam, but then somewhere in the middle of his salah, he changes his intention. He wants to change it to furada. Suppose possibly he realizes that, you know what, Imam is reciting a longer surah. In early days, remember, some people, some Imams, they used to recite a bit longer surahs. Like I know, even Ayatullah Marji' Taqleed, Muhammad al-Iraqi, rahmatullahi alayhi, please have a salawat for him. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. He used to recite in Qum, and everybody knew that he used to recite with complete mustahabbat. Tasbih, like, 5 times, 7 times in sajda, ruku, with salawat, and he used to take time. So let's say a person enters into congregational salah, realizes the Imam is a bit slow, or remembers I have to get to somewhere. I'm in a bit rush. For any legal reason, he wants to change his intention from Jamaat to Furada, he can do it, but only once. When he has changed his niyyah, he cannot switch it back to Jamaat, or vice versa. I repeat, a person enters into the congregational salah with the niyyah of congregation, Jamaat ki niyat karta hai, and changes it once for any reason to Furada, then he cannot go back to Jamaat. If he does, his salah is invalid. His salah is invalid. So this is what that he must go and follow the intention. Condition number 2, Imam must be known to the follower. It's not necessary that he should know the name of the Imam, but as long as he says that behind this Imam, who is right now the Imam of Jamaat, I offer this salah in congregation, that will suffice it. That is sufficient. He does not need to know the name, but he must mention the Imam Jamaat, that I am offering this salah with the fellowship, with the imamat of this Imam, this present guy. He can even point towards him with his finger. We have a couple of masail there, but to cover almost all of these conditions, let's move on. If you have your question, inshallah. Number 3, it's a condition that there should not be an obstruction, a ha'il, an obstacle, some hindrance between the Imam and the followers, and the follower and the other followers who are linking to the Imam with this middle person. So let's say row number 1, these people are the link for the row number 2 to the Imam, and so on and so forth. Let's say in 10th row, row number 9 is the link to the previous row. In 7th row, row number 6 is their link to row number 5, and all of them in sequence to Imam. There should not be a ha'il for gents, even a curtain, parda, should not be there. A wall, it should not be there. I'm combining few masail. A pillar, especially if you go like Masjid-e-Jam Quran, Masjid-e-Azam, it has bigger pillars. If you are behind a pillar from the Imam, of course in front, pillar is right in front of you, you must be connected from your right or your left through another follower. If there's nobody, let's say the first row is full. It happened to me once in Masjid-e-Jam Quran. Sometimes it's packed. You have to wait outside to get inside the masjid. It's a huge, mashallah, masjid. People who have gone there, they have seen it, they know. But still, there are so many people there, and they're kind of craving to get inside and offer salah with jama'ah for the lots of thawab there. Anyways, what happens is that people, it happened to me. I was as such that I was behind a pillar. I did not realize, I don't know, it was my first or second time in Masjid-e-Jam Quran, I did not realize that a small place there was because it was behind the pillar. I offered my salah furada, but point. You got it. Suppose in your direction, you know, that way there's a pillar in front of me. I must be connected either from my right side or my left side. This hindrance is exceptional for women. They're okay. Their salah is okay with a parda, with a, you know, even, you know, like, you know, let's say a plywood wall, a curtain, even a glass. It's okay for them. I hope that will help us understand more these masail. Please say salawat. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So the key word, there should not be any separation at any point between the Imam and the followers, or the followers and the other followers. They must be linked with one another. Rows must be linked with one another. And there are three dimensions for this connection, either from front, or from the right, or from the left. How from the left? Suppose you are the last person on the left side and you find a small place near the wall and you kind of, you know, gently squeeze in. The other namazi will move a bit, you know, he will let you in. He realizes you're trying to join the Jamaat. So you are the last person. So now you are connected with this one. This happens where again? Now in Shabastani Imam. It's beside the haram of Bibi Masuma Salamullahi alayha. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. May Allah take you there. Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli normally, or Ayatollah Shahrudi Hafizahumullah, they lead the prayers there. And everybody loves to go there. And normally, you know, just an hour before Maghrib, the dars, when it ends, and people they rush to join the congregational salah. What happens is, you have to stand in the door. They have huge doors, like they're gates, about 3 times bigger than our door. So they leave them open, so people can do ittisal. So if you happen to be in that door area, you have to connect with your left side. You cannot see the Imam. That was my intention. A situation when a follower cannot see the Imam, it's okay. He does not need to see the Imam, as long as he has a connection from his left side or from his right side, depending on his situation where he is. But he can see the attendees there, the followers in the next row, or the left or right side. His connection is good. And same happens, and it happens very often, most probably in Masjid Azam, because I was in Qum and I experienced in the haram of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. It happens there. It didn't happen to me in the haram of Abi Abdullah alayhi salam, but it happened to me many times in Qum, Masjid Azam. They leave the doors open because then they have a huge front yard in front of the Haram Mutahhar. People, they keep on coming and keep on joining the Jamaat outside of the masjid. How they open the door? There are 4 or 5 people standing within the door. Suppose in our door, somebody standing right in the middle of the door, people behind them, they're joining them after them. I hope within these masail, there are like about 15, 20 masail. Key part is, you have to be connected from either right or left or front. It's not wajib that you must see the Imam. No, it's not. But you have to see your next person in the previous row or the person besides you, depending upon where you are, right or left. That is the condition. There should not be a separation between you and the other link and the other link and so on till the Imam. Everyone should be connected. And now a tricky part. How far they're supposed to be separated? Alhamdulillah, we see it now every day. Best illustration is these marks. See, now we are doing it in a diagonal shape, but in normal situation, you should not be further apart than 1 meter. 1 meter. That is the hadd, that is the limit. If you're further away than 1 meter, you have broken your link with the Jamaat. Then you have to either turn your salah to your furada, or your salah will become void if you're unaware of the issue. Please recite a salawat. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Because it was a salah workshop and these masail are so many, I hope I'm okay. I will go over time a bit extended workshop. condition. The place where Imam stands should not be higher than the followers. An opposite is okay. Imam being on a bit lower place is alright. And if you go in Qum again and in Haram, you will see that the place, the designated place of Imam-e-Jamaat, they built it lower intentionally to make sure that, you know, a little unbalance in the ground back there. Now, if you go there, I don't know, you're not aware, inshallah, but let me name it for thawab. About a kilometer away from Haram is the Masjid Imam Hassan Askari alayhi salam. Have a salawat on him. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And Qum, they did excellent job. They bought almost, you know, lots of shops and places in between, and now they have opened it up. You can connect. In those days, I don't know if you remember, when the janaza of Ayatollah Bahjat rahmatullahi alayh was offered there, Ustad Jawadi Amuli Hafidahullah, he recited the namaz-e-janaza. People had joined till the Imam Masjid Imam Askari alayhi salam. That huge janaza. So point, as long as, yeah, so they had to make sure that Imam is below the level of the followers. See, this will benefit in that situation. If Imam is higher than the attendees, the whole congregation is batil. It's invalid. I hope that helps, inshallah. May Allah take all of us to the ziyarat of our, you know, Mawlas with your loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Trust me, someday when you reach in Salatul Jumma, because of there's lots of traffic around the Haram, and it's built in such a way there's roads on all of the directions. If you look at the map of Qum, you will see the roads. If bila tashbih, Haram is here, roads are not like, you know, in an ordinary, no, they're like in a circle. They go in a circle. And you're busy. It takes time to reach to Haram. The cab driver will drop you a bit away, good like half a kilometer away, sometimes a kilometer away. And you have to walk quickly, you know, brisk walk to join the Jamaat. MashaAllah. You will see, you know what? You attend that Jamaat. My point was that it's, you know, hot in Qum. It's dry and hot in summer. When you go there and you have to have a musalla, like, you know, Amir Bhai, if I can mention his name, Amir Bhai has fun. You cannot offer your salah on the farsh, on the floor. It's hot. Ulama, what they do is, maybe this is a blessing, they take off their abba, they fold it like a musalla, and they put it there on the floor. And then they, of course, help it, they expand it so a couple of other people can join it. Trust me, I'm saying it in the words you heard it. But if you experience it, that is totally different. May Allah take us all there. Have a salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Fifth condition is, no follower should be ahead of Imam. Everybody who is a follower, they must be behind the Imam-e-Jamaat. And especially, this rules even continue. It's not in this masala, but just to offer you. This also applies to the qabr of Imam Masoom alayhimus salam. We go for the ziyarat. We don't offer salah ahead of the zari of Imam. You will see they will offer the salah behind the zari. Zari is ahead of them. If you offer your salah intentionally ahead of the zari of Imam Masoom alayhi salam, your salah is void. This masala is related to that. And then it has many other masail. Let's say, if we have one follower only and one imam, please pay attention. I'm summarizing about 10-15 masail in one to make them easy to understand. One imam, one ma'moom. Two options. Option number one, ma'moom can stand on the right side of the imam. On the same line, two men. Imam is man, follower is man. They can stand in the same line, option number 1. Option number 2, Ma'mum steps back. When he offers the sajda, this is the formula. How far back? When he is supposed to put his head in sajda, it should be in line with the knee of the imam. I repeat, one imam, one ma'mum. Either he can stand in line with the imam, because they're the only two people, or he will move back as such, about, let's say, I don't know, a feet, that his sajda, maqam sajda, is in line to the level of the knee of the imam when he is in sajda. That is simple. You can see, gently you can move your sajda guy accordingly. Scenario number 2. There are more men, it's easier. Everybody stands behind in the row. Scenario number 3. There is one man, we have imam. Imam, one man, one male, and one female. And this happened for many years. When the imam was Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. One ma'mum was Imam Ali alayhi salam, and one lady was Ummul Mu'mineen Khadijatul Kubra salamullahi alayha. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So the holy Imam is in front, Imam Ali alayhi salam on his right side, a bit behind, and Bibi Khadija salamullahi alayha behind the Imam, behind Rasulullah. Likewise, in our fiqh, Imam, if there's one male, that male stands on the right side of the imam. And the female, especially it happens where? In family. Husband is the imam, let's say a son, he is the ma'mum on the right side, and the wife, she is on the behind the imam, behind the husband. This is the sequence. Another scenario number 4. There is one ma'mum male and many ladies. They all stand in one row behind the male ma'mum, who is link between them and the imam. How about if there are more men, more than one? They both come behind the imam in the first row, and the ladies, they stand behind them. These 4 scenarios. Likewise, how about if the imam is a female? If imam is a female, they all, and there are some followers who are also female. A female cannot be imam to males in Islam. A female cannot be imam a jamaat. Likewise, in the congregation of men, a female cannot be a muaddin. I don't know, back years, I don't remember exactly, 1998, I don't know when. I saw a video, there was no internet, nothing, it was on TV. A lady, an Arab lady, not dressed up in proper Islamic dress, somewhere in a congregation, a lady, she was saying adhan. Open head, astaghfirullah, wearing shorts, saying adhan. La ilaha illallah. There's no such thing in Islam. This won't bring any reward. Rather, may Allah forgive her and guide her to the straight path. Point. If ladies are offering salah in congregation, they all have to stand in one line. Female imam cannot step forward and stand like men do. They all have to stand in one line. Please recite a salawat. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. If a person knows, this is about the linking, the connection. If a person knows that one of the front rows of a congregation is invalid, he cannot connect with this congregation. He must be assured that this congregation I'm going to join from, let's say, this point where I'm standing, it has the linkage, it has the connection with the Imam Jamaat. If somebody knows, realizes, again, big masajid like Masjid-e-Jamkaram, you see that, you know what, this guy is behind the pillar and he's the only man standing there. The other saf is so tight, you cannot squeeze in there. You cannot join this Jamaat. You have to offer your salah furada. This is what it means. And likewise, if a follower is linked to the Imam by a person on either his right or left side, and he is not linked to the Imam from the front, I almost gave you a likeness of this masala, but pay attention. Please pay attention, I repeat. If a follower is linked to the Imam by a person on either right or left side, he is not linked from the front, and then based on obligatory precaution, there must not be a gap of more than 1 meter. That gap question. See, I can see the Imam, or maybe I can't, but there's a gap, and that gap could be for any reason, for a huge pillar in the masjid, for, I don't know, astaghfirullah, suppose, there is they have put some donation box, a big donation box, which causes the gap to be bigger than a meter. Any reason. If you see that you have a gap longer than the allowed limit, you cannot join that congregation. I hope that's easy, but it's very practical. Especially it happens to bigger masajid where they have sometimes, big box. There was a masjid, there's a beautiful bazaar near the haram of Bibi Masuma Salamullahi alayha. It's called Guzar Khan in Qom. And they have a masjid there, Masjid of Iraqis. It's a beautiful masjid. Great ulama, they come there to offer salah. They had a huge, about, I don't know, this big size box for the sajdagas in middle there. So you have to be careful. You cannot stand, on one side there was a pillar, and the box was as such that sometimes you cannot find the connection with the previous saf. So you have to make sure that your connection is valid. You are not apart, asunder enough, more than a meter, so you cannot connect to your Jamaat. Please have a salawat. Salli ala Muhammad. If anybody has any questions in so far masail. Sallallahu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Now almost last, but not the least, maybe the most critical condition of congregation. And we have lots of masail here. That is that the followers must follow the Imam. Follow in the sense they must be a little behind or with the Imam in their actions of salah. Imam says, there are many masail I'm going to tell you in a summary way so you can remember them all. It's easier this way. If I will go separately, remember the fiqh's nature is as such, it's complicated. Sometimes you get confused. Rule number 1, Imam-e-Jamaat says Takbiratul Ihram. Nobody says takbir until the takbir of Imam is finished. Let him finish his takbir. Suppose we have our row number 1 right here. Our respected Imam, he says Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Until his Akbar is uttered, row number 1 will not say takbir. But they're standing, ready. As soon as they hear Imam has said his takbir, then the row number 1 will go Allahu Akbar. Very short interval. Right as soon as they start, after maybe half a second, the next row will say Allahu Akbar. And likewise the whole congregation. We don't have that long rows, but let's say if there's a long row of attendees, the right side is recommended, they will go Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, in a sequence. Then the left side, right after about half a second. You don't need to wait like longer time. No. It should be in a such as, when we see a beautiful, land of, I don't know, wheat or any crop which is standing. See, when a stronger blow of wind comes, if you look, the whole field kind of moves, a wave. A wave goes right and moves everybody standing there in the crop. Likewise, the voices of mu'mineen should come in a sequence. Suppose the person in the third row should not try to say his takbir until the row number 1 or 2, they have not said it yet. What else? Dhikr. Either say it with Imam or a little after the Imam. It's better to say after the Imam. On the flip side, if somebody, this is for salam, if somebody says his salam in the salah when we finish salah before the Imam, his salah is okay. His salah is okay. For takbiratul ihram, it's ishkal. Don't try to go before the Imam Jamaat. For the congregants, it's okay if they were standing ready, somehow you misjudged a bit. In the third row, you said your takbiratul ihram a little before the first row, your salah is okay. But don't do as such that you get ahead of other people while you are behind. It's a little complicated, right? You have to judge. Remember, in a congregation, it's like, a whole package thing. Every mu'min now we're all units of this Salatul Jama'ah. And everybody has a responsibility to protect the validity of the Salatul Jama'ah, if I could say. Please recite a salawat. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. The recommended precaution, I'm reading the end of a long masala of what I just said. If somebody does not follow that rule, the recommended precaution is ihtiyat mustahab, that he should wait until those in the front row have completed their takbiratul ihram. And we know that in ihtiyat wajib, you can refer to another a'lam marja. But in ihtiyat mustahab, you cannot refer to other marja. You must follow your a'lam marja. You have done taqleed too. There are few other masail. The follower should not say takbiratul ihram before the imam. If he does, as an obligatory precaution, he should not say the takbir until the takbir of the imam is completed. He should not. Now, if the follower says the salam by mistake, as I said, it's okay. Even if he says salam before the imam intentionally, there's no objection. But pay attention to this. If a follower recites other parts, Brother Ali, thinks like sisters have some question. Can you please take it from them? It's okay, you can keep it. You can read it for us. Let me complete this su'al. If a follower recites other parts of prayers other than takbiratul ihram before the imam, there's no objection. Please listen to the masala till end. Quite complicated masala. A follower recites other parts, let's say ruku, sajdas, tasbih, tashahhud, other than takbiratul ihram. We're not speaking about takbiratul ihram now. If he gets ahead of imam, there's no objection. But if he hears them being recited by the imam, or if he knows when imam is going to recite them, he knows the pace of the imam, he joins him daily, he knows his speed. The recommended precaution is that he should not recite them before the imam. These are not two things, it's one masala. See, sometimes I'm like, in my own, I don't know, senses, I'm not attentive that right now I'm in the congregational salah. And see, sometimes by nature, when I'm getting up or when I want to go to ruku, I say Allahu Akbar a bit, with a bit voice. If I was not aware, that's okay. But I should not try to do it intentionally. Could I say the difference? This is one of the, obvious example of fiqh. Same action have two rulings. It depends on our intention and our tawajjuh. And sometimes, do we know it or we don't? Many places, sometimes I'm ignorant of a masala that will have a let me go for it. But same masala, if I know the hukum and I still violate it, or that will, let's say, invalidate that hukam of mine. That is the nature of fiqh. I hope we all understand this part. Please have a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. This last masala, and then I will take that question. It is necessary. Now this is a warning masala. Please pay attention. It is necessary for the follower that besides that which is recited in the prayers, he should perform all acts like tasbih of ruku, tasbih of sajda on his own. What do I mean in this masala is, only Surah Fatiha and other surah in the first and second rak'ah, you are supposed to stay quiet. And on your behalf, Imam-e-Jamaat is going to recite those surahs. Everything else, you have to recite it quietly, with ikhfa. It's not that, sometimes it's taken, it has been asked, this question has been asked, that I say Takbir Maulana after my Imam-e-Jamaat, then I recite nothing. I just emulate him in his actions. That is not enough. That salah is invalid. When Imam says Takbir to go to Ruku, you go to Ruku. You say Zikr of Ruku yourself. Subhana Rabbi al-Azim wa bihamdih. Of course, quietly. Likewise, Imam says Takbir to get up from the Ruku. You get up with the Imam. You say Takbir quietly. That Takbir to get up. Then Imam goes to Sajda. Imam is reciting Sajda, Dhikr of Sajda. Subhana Rabbi ala wa bihamdi. You must recite that dhikr yourself. Only qira'at part in Qiyam, when Imam is standing erect, that is done by the Imam on your behalf. Every other part, you have to recite it yourself. I hope that was understood. Zikr of Sajda, Zikr of Tashahhud, Salam, all the takbirat. Well, takbir is mustahab. You can let it go. It's okay if you don't recite it. It won't invalidate your salah. I'm not saying about takbiratul ihram. Not saying takbiratul ihram, your salah is invalidated automatically. I'm saying the takbir in between different rituals. See, we connect them with takbir. When I'm getting up, I recite bihawlillahi wa quwwatihi aquma wa aq'ud. And I want to go to ruku, I say Allahu Akbar. That is the takbir I'm speaking about. Tashahhud, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, and so on and so forth. So this is what I mean. I hope that was helpful. Please say salawat. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I want to complete that masala. It's necessary that the follower, he recites all these adhkar himself. And if he performs them before the Imam or after a considerable delay in such a way that he's detached, he's considered to be like disconnected from the Imam, what will happen? Intentionally, his congregational prayers becomes void. Was that helpful? You cannot stay behind like you cannot delay it like extra, that it is considered he's not with the Imam. Imam goes to ruku, he's still standing, let's say. Or Imam gets up, goes to sajda, he's still, in that position. So I hope that he's not considered orphan to be disconnected. That is what it means. We are almost done. This is the last masala here, inshallah. We have only one masala then, though there are many other masail. If you have other questions, we have masail there. But what I had intended, we are almost done. Last question is, there are conditions of Imam. Imam should have some conditions. I'm sorry, I didn't lie. Ali Bhai will take that question and other questions at the end, so we complete, inshallah, our workshop. Imam must be baligh. An Imam-e-Jamaat cannot be a child. Imam must be sane, aqil. Imam must be of legitimate birth. Halal zada hona chahiye. Imam must be Ithna Ashari. Imam must be Ithna Ashari. Imam must be Adil. And Adala does not mean astaghfirullah. He has to be a Ma'soom. He has to be offering the wajibat and refraining from muharramat. And how do we know that? He should be known for being a good person, a polite, kind, as we say in our general sense, oh, he's a good guy. I love to be with him, I love to speak with him. I mean, just that much. Allah knows what's in our hearts. We are not masoom. There are only 14 masooms, other than the Anbiya alayhimus salam. We have a salawat on all of them. We have a couple of masail here, the mustahabbat, but I will leave those and just give you one of them, that Imam Jamaat, as he is responsible for the recitation of Quran, he should be, this is like a condition for Imam, he should be the one who can recite the Quran correctly. When we say correctly, we mean his makhraj of huruf, different Arabic letters. He should pronounce them correctly, as it is like, Rabbil Alameen, Ayn, he should be able to say Ayn, Fiqh is normally, quite dry. Let me give you a small story. A person he newly came to Hausa and Maulana, with lots of respect. He came newly to Hausa, learned Arabic in his beginning years. See, he learned to say Ayn like correctly. The word Ma'ajun, right? When he goes to the shopkeeper, says, I need Ma'ajun. He says, I have Ma'ajun, but I don't have Ma'ajun. Please have a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So Imam is supposed to recite them correctly and in such a way that he should not rush up. He should not recite so fast that especially Hamza and Huruf Mad, Rabbil Alameen, this has a Ya there. He must say it Rabbil Alameen. He cannot say Rabbil Alameen. He has reduced 2 letters. Inna a'tayna kal kawthar. A'tayna has an alif afterwards. He cannot say Inna a'tayna kal kawthar. A'tayna is another word in Arabic language. He must be aware of this. Then makhraj means ihdina ha. He should not be saying it ihdina sirat al-mustaqim. Sirat sad. He should not be saying it with seen. Dad, he should not be saying a Zuad, wala Zualin. See, sometimes we hear this. People, they recite a Dalin, they recite Zualin. That is Zai, Zai Zambur. That is a different letter. That will change the meaning. Thank you so much. Our masail are almost up. Ali Bhai, if you like to read that question, I appreciate it. Let him read it. फिर मुझे glass लेने पड़ेंगे. Thank you so much. Yes, if a handicap joins the Salatul Jama, will his Salat or her Salah be valid? Yes, sure will be valid. How? We see it, in the demonstration. Our seniors, they join with their chair. See, they are not further apart than a meter. They are connected from either sides. So their Salah is valid. Sure, as long as they fulfill the conditions, their disability does not harm the other congregants, right? As long as they have that limit of the connection, they're within that limit, and they are beside, let's say right here in this spot, we have, followers here. If somebody comes there, puts their chair there, or they just they stand or they can sit, however they want to join, their salah is valid, as we do normally with our salah. Any other questions? Yes?
We've noticed that, especially in this part of the world where people are reciting Qasr namaz, okay, with the Jamaat, right? I've come to learn that if somebody is reciting 2 rakats of Qasr namaz, he doesn't stand up after for the 3rd rakat, or doesn't start another namaz, maybe for sunnah. Is he breaking the link?
Yes. The question, if somebody who has to offer Qasr Salah, qasr is instead of 4, he has to offer 2 rak'ah. And if he stands in between in such a way that he is the link, if I can add, if he is the link, he breaks the link for the next row, or let's say even one person besides him in our scenario. If let's say, this man is the last person in this row, and there's a person right there and he's the only person there. This man keeps on sitting, he finishes his salah, the other man's salah is disconnected because his link is gone. So that's why it's not recommended at all. See some people who have their qasr salah not to stand in front. Please go behind. So you don't cause anybody else lose the thawab of, and sometimes you cause them to even invalidate their salah, depending on the conditions. Yes?
Etiquette of joining Jamaat Namaz in the third rak'ah.
Etiquettes of joining salah in the third rak'ah. It's a tricky question. Imam Jamaat has to recite your qiraat in first and second rak'ah only. In third and fourth rak'ah, you are supposed to recite either your own dhikr or your surah and the other surah. Surah Fatiha, that's how. There are many scenarios here. This is the most difficult masala maybe. Look at the ruku of the imam. Is imam in ruku or before ruku? I will make it simple for you. Even if you reach an imam is doing his tasbihat arba, don't join the salah. Wait till he says takbir to go to ruku. That way you don't need to recite your surah Fatiha and other surah. Because it's his third rak'ah, it's your first rak'ah. Wait, don't rush. As soon as he says takbir, you say your takbiratul ihram, do your niyat, go into the ruku. That will count your first rak'ah. But as you asked, suppose he enters, the imam just got up from his tashahhud. He finished 2 rakats. He has to go for one more to complete his maghrib salah. You say takbir Allahu Akbar. Now you have to recite your surah Fatiha yourself, because imam is not reciting on your behalf. You have to also recite another surah. Here there's a little tricky part again. If you realize that I'm about to finish my surah Fatiha and imam is already, he has said takbir to go to ruku, you leave the surah alone, other surah other than Fatiha. Your Fatiha will suffice inshallah. Join the imam. I hope that answers. If sisters, I can request them, if they have any questions, please feel free to write them down on a paper and pass to us like you did previously. We'll be more than happy. We'll give like about a half a minute we'll wait. If anybody has questions, please feel free to ask, with the condition that I should know the answer. If I don't know the answer, I have to look for it. Yes?
Wearing clothes which may be makruh, like having animals on them, invalidating namaz for other people. Like for example, you have something at the back and somebody is reciting, you're reciting in front of him, and you have something on your back that can invalidate the person's namaz in any way.
The question, if somebody is wearing a shirt, a t-shirt, whatever, that it has a picture on it, and the row behind them, I mean, he himself is going to be maybe okay, but people behind him, they are watching that picture. See, we have shadid karahat. Don't wear such clothes. But the question is, if somebody being unaware did not pay attention, I mean, especially our youth, somebody was not paying attention at all. He left home for something, but he ended up being close to masjid near the salah time, and it's great. They said, you know what, let's go and join the salatul jama'ah. And now they came, and they have some picture behind them. The other person's salah is inshallah okay. But avoid wearing such shirts, such clothes.
Well, one more thing. Sorry, I'm asking too much, but in regards to the qasr issue of qasr namaz, if the person has finished his qasr namaz, he can stand up and recite two sunnah rakat namaz to continue the connectivity. Is that correct?
Yes, he can either go for another wajib salah. The question is, if somebody who has to offer qasr salah, can he rejoin right away while the imam is in tashahhud? You quickly recite your salah, your salam, and you rejoin the imam. Yes, he can do for either his mustahab salah to get the reward for this congregational salah, or another 2 rak'ah fajr salah. You can make niyyah behind the imam and you can offer your salah there. There's so much flexibility. Yes.
If there is like a dog or cat hair on those clothes, I believe we should not be praying with those clothes. But what happens if I wash them and there's still some cat or like just something from somewhere, cat or dog's hair? After I wash them, I should still make sure there's no hair at all.
The question is that if I have dog hair or cat hair on my body and I washed them, but I still found that there are some hair on my body, what is the hukm? Number one, there are two different animals. Cat hair is okay. Cat is considered to be, it's haram meat animal, but I mean they're clean, they're pure. But dog being a najis animal, for dog, do extra, use extra precaution and make sure that your dress is clean. Dog has separate ruling, cat has separate ruling. But alhamdulillah, as you said, if you washed it, of course it's tahir now, it's purified, you can offer your salah in that dress. Should we finish with the dua? Do we have? No, huh? Okay, I guess. Oh Allah, for the sake of Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam, accept this qaleel from us. Help us understand your rulings correctly and reconcile us to obey them correctly and follow them correctly and accept them from us. Oh Allah, hasten the reappearance of our Imam. Oh Allah, give speedy recovery to this tragic family. They were shot today. Oh Allah, may the criminals, the bad guys, evildoers, may they be kept and arrested as soon as possible. And oh Allah, help protect all the mu'mineen and mu'minat in Hamilton and all over the world. Oh Allah, accept and forgive us. Of course, you are the all forgiver. Ma dhikre salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Ya Hussein. Ya Hussein.
Hussein, Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, तेरा मातम शाहिदी बपा है चांद तारों में, तेरा मातम शाहिदी बपा है चांद तारों, तेरे खून की शबीर झलक है चांद तारों में, तेरा मातम शाहिदी बपा है चांद, तेरा अकबर जवान कड़ियल जो सारे घर की उम्मीदों का मरकज, तेरा अकबर जवान कड़ियल जो सारे घर की उम्मीदों का मरकज, शाने खुद देखा तड़पते रेगजारों में, तेरा मातम शाहिदी बपा है तारों में, तेरा मातम शाहिदी बपा है चांद, तेरा कासम तीरों ने जिसको दूल्हा बनाया था करबला में, तेरा कासम तीरों ने जिसको दूल्हा बनाया था करबला में, सेहरे की लड़ियाँ रुली हैं रेगजारों में, तेरा मातम शाहिदी बपा है चांद, तीर चलते रहे ख़ैमे जलते रहे आले अहमद का घर सब लुटते रहे। तीर चलते रहे ख़ैमे जलते रहे आले अहमद का घर सब लुटते रहे। घर ज़हरा लूटा इशारों ही इशारों में, तेरा मातम शाहिदी बपा है तारों में। मातम शाह सलवात सलाम आप पर फातिमा ज़हरा, सलवात सलाम आप पर फातिमा ज़हरा। हम आए हैं पुरसे के लिए फातिमा ज़हरा, सलवात सलाम। हम आए हैं पुरसे के लिए फातिमा ज़हरा। कानों से सकीना के उतारे गए गौहर, कानों से सकीना के उतारे गए गौहर। ज़ैनब की बिछीनी है रिदा फातिमा ज़हरा, सलवात सलाम आप पर फातिमा ज़हरा। हम आए हैं पुरसे के लिए फातिमा ज़हरा। ऐ रब्बे जहाँ पंचतन पाक का सदका इस कौम का दामन गम शब्बीर से भर दे। बच्चों को अता कर अली असगर का तबस्सुम, बूढ़ों को हबीब इब्न मज़ाहिर की नज़र दे। माओं को सिखा सानी ज़ारा का सलीका, बहनों को सकीना की दुआओं का असर दे। बच्चों को अता कर वलवला औन मोहम्मद, हर एक जवान को अली अकबर का जिगर दे। ऐ रब्बे जहाँ तुझे सज्जाद का सदका, बीमार जो हैं उनको शफा याब तू कर दे। तो जो चादर ज़ैनब की आज़ादार है मौला, महफूज रहें ऐसी ख़वातीन के पर्दे। मौला तुझे ज़ैनब की असीरी की कसम है, बेजुर्म असीरों को रिहाई की खबर दे। जो दीन के काम आए वो औलाद अता कर, जो मजलिस शब्बीर की खातिर हो वो घर दे। मुफलिस पे ज़रो लाल जवाहर की हो बारिश, मकरूज़ का हर कर्ज अदा गैब से कर दे। गम कोई न दे हमको सिवाए गम शब्बीर, शब्बीर का गम बांट रहा है तो इधर दे। बर मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु।
زيادة وارثة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليك يا وارث آدم صفوة الله، السلام عليك يا وارث نوح النبي الله، السلام عليك يا وارث إبراهيم خليل الله، السلام عليك يا وارث موسى كليم الله، السلام عليك يا وارث عيسى روح الله، السلام عليك يا وارث محمد حبيب الله، السلام عليك يا وارث أمير المؤمنين ولي الله، السلام عليك يا ابن محمد المصطفى، السلام عليك يا ابن علي المرتضى، السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء، السلام عليك يا ابن خديجة الكبرى، السلام عليك يا ثار الله وابن ثاره والوتر الموتور. أشهد أنك قد أقمت الصلاة وآتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونهيت عن المنكر وأطعت الله ورسوله حتى أتاك اليقين. فلعن الله أمة قتلتك، ولعن الله أمة ظلمتك، ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت به. يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، أشهد أنك كنت نورا في الأصلاب الشامخة والأرحام المطهرة، لم تنجسك الجاهلية بأنجاسها، ولم تلبسك من مدلهمات ثيابها، وأشهد أنك من دعائم الدين وأركان المؤمنين، وأشهد أنك الإمام البر التقي الرضي الزكي الهادي المهدي، وأشهد أن الأئمة من ولدك كلمة التقوى وعلام الهدى والأروة الوثقى والحجة على أهل الدنيا، وأشهد الله وملائكته وأنبياءه ورسله أني بكم مؤمن وبيا بكم موقن بشرائع ديني وخواتيم عملي وقلبي لقلبكم سلم وأمري لأمركم متبع صلوات الله عليكم وعلى أرواحكم وعلى أجسادكم وعلى أجسامكم وعلى شاهدكم وعلى غائبكم وعلى ظاهركم وعلى باطنكم. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله، السلام عليك يا ابن نبي الله، السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا ابن الحسين الشهيد، السلام عليك أيها الشهيد، السلام عليك أيها المظلوم وابن المظلوم. لعن الله أمة قتلت، ولعن الله أمة ظلمت، ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت به. السلام عليكم يا أولياء الله وأحباءه، السلام عليكم يا أسفياء الله ووداءه، السلام عليكم يا أنصار دين الله، السلام عليكم يا أنصار رسول الله، السلام عليكم يا أنصار أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليكم يا أنصار فاطمة سيدتي نساء العالمين، السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي محمد الحسن بن علي الولي الزكي الناصح، السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي عبد الله بأبي أنتم وأمي، طبتم وتابت الأرض التي فيها دفنتم وفزتم فوزا عظيما، فيا ليتني كنت معكم فأفوز معكم. السلام عليك يا أبا الفضل عباس بن أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا ابن سيد الوصيين، السلام عليك يا ابن أول القوم إسلاما وأقدمهم إيمانا وأقومهم بدين الله وأحوتهم على الإسلام. أشهد لقد نصحت لله ولرسوله ولأخيك فنعم الأخ المواسي. فلعن الله أمة قتلت، ولعن الله أمة ظلمت، ولعن الله أمة استحلت منك المحارم وانتهكت حرمة الإسلام. فنعم الصابر المجاهد المهام الناصر والأخ الدافع عن أخيه المجيب إلى طاعة ربه الراغب فيما زهد فيه غيره من الثواب الجزيل والثناء الجميل. والحق الله بدرجة آبائك في جنات النعيم. السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا غريب الغرباء، السلام عليك يا أنيس الفقراء، السلطان أبا الحسن علي بن موسى الرضا، كن شفيعنا وشفيع والدينا في يوم الجزاء ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا صاحب العصر والزمان، السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن، السلام عليك يا كعبة الإيمان، السلام عليك يا إمامنا وإمام الإنس والجان، السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كن لوليك